using what we talked about and what we did. So depending on how his feet configuration is, if I get proper angles, okay, if I go this way here and he stretches that out, okay, a couple things are available. If his shin's down, I don't have that thigh exposed. If his foot's up right here, yeah, I can go here, I can push it, and then I can just get here, and I can begin to go to north-south, okay? I can also do it the opposite way. So if I'm here, I want to enter at angles. It does me really no good to just walk right in here, okay? Because I walk in right into a daily healer and to an open guard, it doesn't really do me, it's like I saving the trouble of working to get the actual open guard and create 4 points of contact. If I'm here and I begin to go this way here, see how it becomes difficult for him now to even engage. Even if he starts reaching, he'll may be able to grab that sleeve right there, okay? But he can't really grab this sleeve. He may be able to grab a foot on it, and I can go here, step here, and then just go through and go near the belly. So you watch and see if they're too tilted to the side, because if I did a traditional, let's say hip frame pass here, well, I want to go here, okay? I want to pin this knee to the mat, okay? And from here, I'm controlling the hip. So as I walk around here, I'm able to roll them and control the hip. It's really a lot about controlling the hips, because if you control their hips, the open guard pretty much dies. If you switch angles, if I go this way here, if I go this way here, see he's late. So I know that to hit him with left, he's got to use the left foot. Yeah, because the right foot's up, okay? If I go to my left, yeah, he's got to use his right foot, because it's easier to drag. Because here he has to push himself to the left with his right foot, and it's not as efficient as pulling himself to the left with his left foot. See, and he keeps that right one up, because you don't want anybody diving on top of you either. This is a weapon also. If a person's just like, you're on the bottom and you're in a defensive position, if they're trying to reach, they gotta get past this leg, faces in, in range, striking range, kick him in the face, it hurts. So if I'm here, and I go this way here, okay, go this way here, open it this way here, he turns into me this way here, I can begin to go around this way here, okay? And basically, I go north-south, because it suits me better to go north-south than it does side control. And I'd rather be in that situation than to have, let's just say, him be able to turn and begin to give me an open guard or begin a recover guard, okay? So as I got here, okay, north-south, here, I immediately hook his arm and bring my chest down here, okay? Because what it does is that it puts him in a defensive position. We have to defend his arm. The way that you go for the Omoplata and step over is that you have to create pressure on this arm and begin to attack, and he defends it. So as it's locked down, that's where I lift this up. Because for him to remove this hand now, he would have to literally move it over my arm. And he doesn't really think about removing it because it's too much kind of risk. He's gonna get it straightened out. Because if he begins to release this grip here, go ahead, and tries to remove this arm, try to remove this arm right here, the top one. Yeah, so yeah, he has to grab it, exactly. If he doesn't grab it, go ahead. It's very easy to, to control and move it into Kimura. So as we're here, okay, I'm forcing him to defend, and now what I do is this. As I keep the pressure, I use my chest, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the free hand to hook this leg here as my left leg windshield wipers, and I tilt so far to the left that his defending helps anchor me in here, because he feels it's almost like a Kimura, which in all honesty it can be, but he's saving the Kimura here. I need to step over his legs and right into here, okay? So now from here, I get my hand on my thigh. But what I've been doing here is that because my right hand is free, my right hand grabs the left wrist and I start pulling this elbow in right here. So I grab your left wrist with your right hand and start pulling it in as it applies a lot of pressure onto my wrist, okay? As he starts like pinching his elbow, yeah, and it begins to now apply pressure if I don't have it properly, okay? So what I'm gonna do now is, instead of me going for the Omoplata here, which is gonna be kind of hard to get, simply because he's holding his hands together. So it's hard to separate his hand and to get it past the hip to turn it for a Kimura, okay? What I would rather do is, I'd rather just fall off to my back here. He'll go to his knees here, and I'd rather now begin to expose this arm here as I begin to try to pull it out right here. And now I go for a Kimura here, okay? If he really begins to fight it and throws his left leg right there, okay? And it's hard now to get that Kimura, okay? I'm gonna now switch hands and I'm gonna go for an Omoplata right here, okay? As I'm now beginning to roll into the stomach here. As it goes to the stomach, go ahead, go to your knees, or I begin to now control here, okay? And what I wanna do is a couple situations here. I wanna keep leaning forward here, control this shoulder here, and if you look, he's on his knees. I'm gonna go for this. Here, 1, 2, right here. Okay? If he's on his knees. I'm still trapping his arm by leaning forward. So I'm here, okay? And I grab here just so that I know he can't really roll right here, okay? And here I can have my feet straight as long as my knees are pinching and his hand can't get out. I'll do it from a different angle, okay? As I'm here, you can go 1, and then you shoot this in for like a darce right here, okay? Move your hand away, let's see here, yeah, just right here. So I have this hand here, okay, and I grab the top one here, and as I'm pinching my knees, I begin to pull him in. Is it a darce or not a darce? Is it like, where do you feel, in the shoulder or where?
Shoulder.
Yeah, so here it helps me crank the shoulder here, okay? So this is gonna be the first one that you do, all right? So let's say.
Do you not roll just because it's already so tight from?
Because I still have a trap in my hip by leaning forward, okay? So move your head that way, yeah. So, here, yeah, he's defending here. And now from here, I feel he's trying to pull it back through, and I'm like, right here. And maybe my hand wasn't deep enough. He's trying to pull it through here. Yeah, see how you feel the conflict? Like I don't lean back in order to create space in order to be able to keep that arm trapped here, okay? So from here, as I know he's probably gonna go to his knees, he's gonna hold here. I go to my knees because it helps me pull my arm. I don't wanna stay on the side. If I'm on my side, it's gonna be hard for me to get out from this position. So usually I begin to roll to my knees. So Mike, slowly roll to your knees. Right there, yes, right there, okay? So this is where you begin to pull this out. The first thing you're gonna do here is you're gonna finish the Kimura, right? But Mike, he stepped up with his left leg, and then, yes, right there. So right here, I have a lot less chance of pulling it out, but if I begin to pull this hand out here and begin to go for the Omoplata, I gotta keep this in my pocket as I'm pinching here, and I'm gonna sit up. And I wanna be able to get to this position here and pull myself up and just grab, because what I'm really doing, first and foremost, is I'm fishing for his forearm, is what you just did, okay? If I can pull him back here, okay? I can pull him here and I can hook that arm, even just a little bit here, okay? I'm gonna start just rolling back here. I'm gonna figure four my knees here, and now I'm gonna poke my hip. Yeah. If his arm's too far, I can reach for that collar here, and I'm leaning forward. His arm is trapped here. I'm just gonna go here, and I'm gonna lean back here, just slide my hand in, fine right here. Simple seatbelt here, head, and my shoulders connected, knees pinched. All I'm gonna do is pull his head, and it's not, that's like maybe 10%. Does that make sense?
And this is all from north-south.
It's all from a north-south matrix, going for something a little bit not, too beginnerish, but there's no reason why you guys can't do it. You can go straight for an Omoplata here too. It's okay. So if he's on the side, go diagonal over here. I'm here, I'm in here, right? And look, I can go. And just go right for Omoplata here. You see?
And the sequences from passing the legs, do that leg kick.
Just the north, it doesn't matter. You can be inside true, you go north-south matrix. North-south matrix is when they're on their side. And you walk around the head and you're going north-south, and they're not flat. When they're flat, the options are left. And the paper cutters aren't the best choices. Not, I mean, they're okay, but they're easier to defend than they are to escape. I mean, than they are to finish, okay? So here I'm controlling the hip, okay? And obviously what I've taught you guys before is I want to knock him off his base. If I'm moving this way here and he won't let me knock him off his base here, okay? I want to lean in here, control this here, so I can begin to reach here. But if I can't reach this arm here, if I can't hook it underneath here, that's already a done deal. Whether I go here or here even, here, I just can't let him pull it out here. And all I'm gonna do is, I'm just gonna push myself back on my lower back. And here I'll lock the feet here, and I have him. It's kind of like a crucifix, but it's not, okay? It's like a Omoplata thing. And then I'm gonna crawl up to the shoulder here, okay? And I'm gonna lift my head up and come up. If I can't reach his arm here, because he'll keep it away because he knows that that's coming here, he leaves this. And then I pinch right here, and then I pull, because it helps me torque it. But I want to put my ear on his lower back, and then my shoulder in his rib, and go here. My right hand over the left, and it's like a Peruvian necktie almost. I'm driving in and pulling. So it's very hard to stop, because you're trapping in one way or the other. Does that make sense? All right, let's try it. 1, 2, 3. I'll help you guys. Everybody start on your right side if you want to start from north-south matrix, because you're going to attack their left arm. Okay? You can also actually do it like this. Pull it down. Because the point is to get to this particular Omoplata. Look, I'll do this.
Or from that hip one?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. As long as you're just attacking his left arm, and I'm not letting him roll here. Look, here. Here's one. Here. Here, he's on his knees. Here. Rotate to your left. Because we're here, okay? I went from the hand to the elbow here, because I'm still pulling it here. I can't reach that here. I go 1. And I just pull in and drive my shoulder in and pull it up. So you can do that one. I'm just showing you how to get the Omoplata and Kimura, because it's more certain. It'll be easier for you to go for that step over, get the Kimura by popping that arm out, than it will be for the Omoplata. But from there, you can get more elaborate. Why not? You know what I'm saying? And have fun with it. All right, let's do it. 1, 2, 3. Okay. When Arian caught my arm in the Kimura, and she hooked the far one, that's it. It's so tight. And you're gonna cross, once you start leaning back, you're gonna cross your left foot over your right.